Hindu law. We're talking about a legal system that's literally thousands of years old, and you need to understand it by tomorrow. Okay, don't panic. We're about to cover the absolute must-know essentials in the next 5 minutes. Let's do this. So the exam is breathing down your neck. You're staring at a mountain of textbooks, and you're thinking, no way. Well, this right here, this is your lifeline. We're going to break down the absolute pillars of Hindu law so you can walk into that test feeling like you've actually got this. Ready? Okay, first things first, you have to know where all this even comes from, right? Long before any modern laws were written down in books, Hindu society was guided by dharma. Think of it as this big concept of religious and moral law. So to get the law today, you've got to look at its roots.
And this slide splits it up perfectly. On the left, think of the ancient sources as like the original source code. You've got the Shruti, sacred texts believed to be divinely inspired, the what was heard. Then you have the Smriti, which is the what was remembered, texts written down by sages to explain and interpret those divine laws. Now, look at the right. This is your latest software update. We're talking modern stuff like legislation, acts passed by parliament, and judicial precedents, which are just decisions made by courts that become new rules. It's this amazing system built on ancient wisdom, but constantly being updated for today.
All right, let's build on that with our next pillar, marriage. Now, things got a lot clearer with the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955. It basically codified everything, creating a clear legal rulebook. So what does it actually take for a Hindu marriage to be legally legit today? Section 5 of the Act gives us 5 crystal clear conditions. Number 1, monogamy. Super simple, you can only be married to one person at a time. 2, you have to be of sound mind and able to consent. 3, legal age, 21 for the groom, 18 for the bride. Now, the last 2 are all about family relations. You can't be within prohibited degrees, like marrying a sibling, and you can't be sapindas, which basically just means you can't be too closely related through a shared ancestor. If you violate these, you're going to have some serious legal problems. And speaking of problems, this slide shows a legal distinction that is absolutely crucial to understand. A void marriage, well, it was never legal in the first place. Think bigamy or marrying a close relative. It's invalid from the get-go. But a voidable marriage is different. It's actually valid until one of the parties takes legal action to cancel it. This might happen because of stuff like forced consent or if someone was underage. So the key takeaway is one never existed in the eyes of the law, while the other can be erased. Big difference.
So the law doesn't just stop at marriage. It helps structure the entire family. Let's dig into 2 really key aspects: how you bring a child into the family through adoption, and this duty to support family members, which is called maintenance. So for an adoption to be legally solid under the Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act, you've got to follow a few key rules. The person adopting has to be of sound mind. And here's an important one. You can't already have a son, grandson, or great-grandson if you're adopting a boy. Same idea if you're adopting a girl. Oh, and there's a minimum 21-year age gap if a man is adopting a girl. And when a valid adoption happens, the legal consequences are just huge. Just let that sink in for a second. Legally, the adoption completely severs the child's ties to their birth family. It's like a clean cut, and a new, unbreakable bond is formed with the adoptive family. The law literally treats the adopted child exactly as if they were born into that new family, for all purposes, and that includes things like inheritance. And that idea of support leads us right into maintenance. This is the legal obligation family members have to provide financial support to their dependents. And let's be clear, this isn't just a nice moral suggestion, it is an enforceable duty to take care of a wife, children, or elderly parents who can't support themselves. And all this brings us to our final pillar, legacy and property. I mean, how does wealth actually pass from one generation to the next? The Hindu Succession Act is the main player here. And believe me, it went through a revolutionary change not that long ago. This is a huge deal, seriously. Before 2005, when it came to ancestral family property, only sons were considered coparceners, which just means they were co-owners by birthright. Daughters, they were pretty much left out. But the 2005 amendment completely leveled the playing field. It made daughters equal coparceners, giving them the exact same ownership rights as sons from the moment they are born. This was just a monumental step forward for gender equality in India. Okay, so what happens if a Hindu male passes away without a will? Who gets the property? Well, the law is super clear. Class I heirs are first in line. This slide shows you who's on that VIP list. It's the immediate family. The son, the daughter, the widow, and the mother all have an equal claim. The law's first priority is making sure they are all provided for. So, We've covered the sources, marriage, family duties, and succession. Let's kind of zoom out now and pull it all together, look at the big picture of what all this means for life today. If there's one single thing you take away from all this for your exam, let it be this. Hindu law is not some dusty, ancient relic that's stuck in the past. It is a dynamic, living, breathing system. It's journeyed from sacred texts and old customs to a structured, modern legal framework passed by Parliament. It adapts, it changes, and it continues to shape the lives of millions.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, right? As our modern society keeps evolving and our definitions of family, partnership, and identity keep changing, this ancient legal system is going to have to evolve right along with it. The big question is, what will that next evolution even look like? That's a question for the lawmakers, the courts, and really all of society to answer. Okay, you've got this. Good luck with your exam.